road going in, and another one, they had like competing little trinket stands, and that was it. They hadn't figured out how to monetize it and make it all happen. And now it's the iconic place where great games are played.
Yeah, I mean, I got to go whenever they did the I know they've done two.
Two so far,
I think. First one was White Sox.
Yeah.
White Sox Yankees, I want to
Yeah.
say. And I was there when Costner came out of. I
cool is that?
I often tell people I've gotten to see some cool. I was at Game
moments.
7 of the Cubs World Series. I was at Super Bowl 51 when Brady led the comeback against the Atlanta Falcons. I think the coolest sporting event I've ever been to was the Field of Dreams game in Dyersville. There was something about the game was in the cornfield. That I think it was Howard Shore, the Howard Shore score that was like playing. The voiceover from James Earl Jones,
right?
And then Kevin Costner walked out of the corn, and grown men weeping.
Yeah. Oh no, I get it because the first time I saw the movie, there might have been a little tear in my eye.
I saw it last year at CSO, the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. They did the At
when
the
they
Movie
were doing
series.
the actual score.
It was unreal.
Yeah.
We got a lot of great guests on the show today.
So we can't just talk about
about Field of Dreams for an hour, which we could
easily.
Cider Summit Chicago returns to Navy Pier for the 12th annual festival. We're going to talk with our friend Alan Shapiro. Alan, are you there?
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. Sorry you had to endure us rambling about Field of Dreams for an hour, but we appreciate you sticking with us.
It was only 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love Field of Dreams?
Exactly right, Alan. Tell us a little bit about what's going on out there.
We are excited to be back with our 12th annual event here at Navy Pier. We're in the beautiful Lakeview Terrace Room on the second floor, overlooking the lake and the city skyline. And each year, we're the largest cider tasting opportunity in the region. And so we've got a few dozen producers and about 125 options for people to explore. And from the beginning, the idea was to give people that were maybe curious about cider and the wide range of opportunities that they may not be aware of in the category, and also to have things for people that are very serious cider drinkers. And each year, the lineup of ciders changes. Close to half of the ciders have never been at the festival before. So even if people have come in previous years, there's still a lot of new things for them to explore.
Cider has just really exploded on the scene here in the last several years. You go back 10, 12 years ago, I'm sure it was a thing, but it was something you never really heard about. What was it that really has made this just explode?
Yeah, when we did start this festival in 2013, there were a lot of people that knew a lot about cider or tried many things. So I think it's got a lot of elements to it that people enjoy. There's kind of the farm table element. There's also a lighter, more refreshing, more moderate alcohol element to it. So it's an interesting kind of hybrid beverage because it's really made more like wine, but has moderate alcohol like beer and a huge range of flavors. So if you like Chardonnay and other kind of fancier drinks, you can find a cider that will work for you there. And if you want to explore spiced and flavor and very exotic things, including barrel-aged and whatnot, there's something for everyone. And so it fills a lot of niches.
I recently tried, I'm sure I had cider at some point in my life, but I recently tried one at a bar recently and was really surprised at how much I liked it. I think they had it on tap, and I was really pleasantly surprised with in fact, I think I ordered a second one, maybe even a third. So I guess my question is, do you find yourself, because maybe people go, oh, cider's not. I want to have a mixed drink, or I want to have a beer. Do you find yourself having to sometimes convince people, give it a shot, you might like it, and what are people's reactions when you finally do actually get them to maybe crack one open?
Yeah, that speaks really to the founding purpose of the festival. So sometimes people have a preconception that cider has to be a sweet, cloying beverage. And the idea was, yes, try this. I've often said at tastings, how many of you like cider? And often not a lot of hands will go up. And I'll say, I will guarantee you by the time we're done today, you're going to find something that fits your palate. So, and we also have some other things here, including some fruit spirits and some cider cocktails. And so people can, they stay open-minded and can explore and find something. I'll say it again, I guarantee they'll find something they'll enjoy.
So cider drinkers are coming from some other segment. Are they wine drinkers coming over, or are they beer drinkers?
You know, it is a cross section. I think what we're finding more and more is that drinkers are going across multiple categories. They're not just spirits drinkers or not just wine drinkers. So they're seeking out something that connects with them somehow, both from taste profile and maybe even emotionally a bit, and from a community standpoint. And I think really the family farm story and farm to table is part of it. So I think younger generations are open to maybe a wider range of possibilities and really enjoy experimenting.
Tell us a little bit about how the summit actually works. Is it, you come out, you pay a certain price, get a couple of, a certain number of tokens, and then you kind of use tokens to kind of get whichever ones you want to try?
Yeah, exactly. So if people go to cidersummit.com and click on the Chicago tab, they can go to the producers list, and there's a link to download our entire event guide. And they can kind of plot a strategy of things that they're most interested in tasting. So there's the festival glass, depending on the type of ticket they buy, how many tasting tokens, and they can purchase additional of those during the course of the festival. And some people may want to focus on fruit ciders. Some people may want to focus on imports. Some people may want to focus on tasting spirits and cider cocktails. And then we also do have some small bites available for sampling and purchase during the event. And so we want everyone, of course, to be safe.
I've got kind of a crazy question for you, and you may or may not know the answer to this. I'm sure the answer is yes, but infused beverages have become so big here as of late. There's got to be some infused ciders as well, huh?
Yeah, so we have, and there's a huge range. So there's fruit infused, there's hop infused, almost soup to nuts. It gets pretty exotic out there. And in a lot of ways, that's what brings the new consumers in. So like it happened with wine drinkers before and beer drinkers as well, as you tend to kind of go through some evolution of your tastes. And kind of we want to expand the category, and whatever brings people in is fantastic. And hopefully they'll continue that process and that evolution. And some of them will just want to continue to enjoy fruit ciders, and some may want to do very exotic French fancy varietals and stuff that we have like that from New England as well, and even Michigan. And that's the fun of the festival is the huge range of opportunity.
It's going to be a lot of fun. As we wrap up, one more time, give people all the information they need to know if they want to come out and try a couple of ciders.
So general admission tickets are still available, and that session starts at 2 o'clock and runs through 6. We're at the Navy Pier, Lakeview Terrace Room down at the far end, and people can head to cidersummit.com, click on Chicago for all the details.
Cider Summit.
Yeah, I'm in. Yeah. Sold. Alan Shapiro, we appreciate you, man. You guys are going to have a great time out there and have one for us.
Thanks very much, guys. Appreciate being
here. Appreciate you. So, Mark Stroh, I know that you are an avid viewer of Good Day Chicago.
Wow,
even
sure.
whenever you're not on it.
Right. Which is most of the time now.
Yeah. Earlier this week, I was out at Lake Geneva because they've got this snow sculpting invitational.
You've been out there before, right?
I have. And it was truly a sight to behold. So basically, it's 15 different snow sculpting teams from around the world. And each team consists of 3 people. And they're given, on Wednesday, a 10 by 10 block of snow. Very packed in snow. And then basically are told, you've got till, I think, noon or so today before tools are down.
Right.
And I was just kind of in awe of just what they had done. I was there on Thursday, and I was in awe of what I had seen them do just within the first 24 hours.
I have judged not this
Have you?
contest, but a contest in the Dells a couple of times.
What?
And I blown away by the artistry that is involved here.
I want to judge. That seems awesome. I
You'd be
judge
a
people
good
for free all the time.
I judge you all the time.
You know what? There was someone who I got to speak with out there, and we had the absolute best time together. Her name is Stephanie Klett. She was with Lake Geneva, and she is part of the big snow sculpting invitational that is happening out there. And I think she's joining us live this morning. Stephanie, are you there?
Good morning.
Stephanie, my friend, how are you?
We had such a blast with you. They're still talking about you, and next year we're going to have you do a snow sculpture.
You really must raise your standards out in Lake Geneva. We really. But, you know, I can already tell from that shot alone that the snow sculptures have come a long way. How are they looking since I was there?
Oh my gosh, you wouldn't believe it. So since you've been here, which they were pretty much a plain block of snow, in about 1 hour, it'll be tools down. So their snow sculptures will be completely finished. So basically, we're talking about a block of snow that's 10 feet high, 8 feet wide, in a rectangle. And that now, if you see behind me, we have aliens. Behind me is a team called Sculptura Borealis. They were America's Snow Sculpting Invitational Champions last year. They are fantastic. We've got so many great teams behind me, including Mexico. For the first time ever, we have Turkey here.
Wow.
And of course, from Illinois, we have cave people from space. They are such a fun, rowdy team. And their theme this year, they've got a big old cowboy in a cowboy hat with a big dog, and it's kind of this Western motif. So it is really fun to see because some of these artists get very deep with their artist statement, and it's a very serious sculpture. Some of them are so whimsical and fun, and so what I love is everybody has their favorite. So we do a People's Choice Award. So if you get here, and by the way, the event is absolutely free. It's great for families, couples, it doesn't matter, but you can vote here in person or online at visitlakegeneva.com for your favorite snow sculptor and sculpture. And so that winner becomes America's Snow Sculpting Invitational People's Choice Award winner, and they have bragging rights for the next year.
Wow.
That is incredible. That is really cool. I'm just so impressed. Can you have our camera person zero in? I'd love to see some of the stuff that's behind you there.
Can you zero in a little bit? We're going to try to do that right now because the sculpture behind us is really cool. It's all about AI. So it's an alien because we don't really know where we're going with all of this AI stuff. It's happening so quickly. And so this is Sculptura Borealis, the returning champions, and they are just spectacular.
You know, you mentioned that it's just about under an hour or so before it's tools down, and I know they kicked off by Wednesday. So what are the teams? Are all the sculptures basically done and they're doing last final little touches, or are there big moves being made in this final couple of minutes that they have?
Well, yeah. So these guys and gals are really scurrying right now to get the job done, because when it's 11 a.m., it is tools down. They can't touch anything. And what a lot of folks don't know is that this event, no power tools are allowed. So literally everything is very primitive. They're using saws, they're using ice picks, they're using sanders. And that's one of the cool things too, is that this is happening with just the most basic tools. I can't believe what they bring to life. And a lot of these folks here, they're the best of the best. They're former world champions. That was Team Mexico. They actually practice on sand. But because it's done in real time, real things happen, good and bad. Mm-hmm. And this morning, the team from Turkey, their sculpture, which is this really cool geodesic sculpture, it fell.
Oh, no.
And so they're out of the competition, and they had basically 20 hours of flights to get to Lake Geneva.
Wow.
Oh,
So
man.
I know.
they're sitting over at the club looking at the ice now, having a cold
they're
beverage.
taking all that snow, putting it in a drink right now,
Yeah.
and making the most of it.
You know-
Hopefully, we can get them back next year.
You know, to your point, that people really appreciate different sculptures. You know, I remember the couple times that I did some judging, you know, we had all just varying different, you know, somebody loved this one, someone loved that.
Sure.
The People's Choice came in with like a third and a fourth choice. So there's so much to behold there. There's so much beauty, and people see things in different ways.
They do. And you know, for me, I'm always fascinated when a snow sculpture has movement. How do you
Yeah.
get movement in a static snow sculpture? You're absolutely right. And as you get to know the teams, one of the cool things is you actually get to talk to the teams. So if you have a question for them as they're sculpting, they're going to tell you about their snow sculpture and their background. And a lot of these sculptors have a background in engineering or the arts. And I got to tell you, the world is here right now. I'm looking on Geneva Lake right now, and there's a hovercraft out there. We have ice sailing. There are people ice fishing. But down here, it's a whole party vibe. We're going to have about 60,000 people outside for the next 2 days. And this is a way to enjoy winter.
Yeah,
and
it
you know
is.
what? You get to meet teams from Alaska, Pennsylvania, Colorado, of course, Illinois and Wisconsin. And we always do really, really well in this competition. The Midwest does great because we get a lot of practice. So people are blown away by this event. And we do s'mores on the beach, so you can roast marshmallows and make s'mores at night. We have fire performers. It is just a whole cool collective event.
You know, Stephanie, we're running out of time, but I think as we wrap up, I think what's cool to point out is that even if maybe you can't make it out this weekend, as long as the weather holds up, as long as the temperatures are as low as they need to be, statues aren't going anywhere anytime soon.
No, that's the coolest thing is these statues stay until Mother Nature says so long. And sometimes they last 1 day, and sometimes they last 6 weeks. And we're hoping for that 6 weeks.
Wow. All right. Stephanie Klett, it is the Snow Sculpting Invitational out at Lake Geneva, Winterfest. What an amazing event. I was so happy to be out there with you guys earlier this week, and I'm happy to catch up with you and kind of get to see the full arc of their journey.
Yeah.
So good to see you again.
And Stephanie, thanks for your
You too. We loved
enthusiasm.
having you.
Yeah, wasn't she
Yeah.
great? I said in my live shot, I said how great she was.
Oh, fantastic.
She really is. Stephanie,
Yeah.
we love you.
And you know,
Thank you.
doing that is really physical. I have a family member up in Frankenmuth, Michigan, used to do this, travel all over the world to do this, and as he kind of got a little bit older, had to give it up because it was so tough on the body, very physical to do that.
Well, and in that cold temperature, it's even harder. All right, guys, we got to go to break for a second, and we'll be back with some more awesome guests.
Yeah, really awesome.
Welcome back. Just about 10:26. There's a really cool event that's happening in Chicago that's going to be helping a lot of people. It is a free hot meal giveaway for Southside community residents. And we've got an amazing guest who's going to tell us a little bit about it. Jasmine's today. Jasmine, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having us. We sincerely appreciate it.
Of course. No, we appreciate you joining us, and we appreciate you being a part of this event. So tell people a little bit about it. What's happening out there?
Yeah, so this is an extremely incredible and inspirational collaboration between Islamic Relief USA, Insight Chicago Hospital, and Sylvester Broom Empowerment Village. Our mission at Islamic Relief is to have a world free of poverty. So what we try to do is we're trying to increase our food security initiatives, especially in Chicago. As you all know, in the 2025 annual report released from the Greater Chicagoland Food Depository, we're looking at 25% of households in Chicago experiencing food insecurity. So that's a higher number than we want. So we're trying to combat that in different ways. And essentially, our partnership with Insight and SFEV, that's the acronym for Sylvester Broom, really helps us because we're trying to close that gap. And this is the best way. We're packing out 20,000 meal servings, which is approximately 700 to 900 meal bags. They're basmati rice, halal pinto beans, carrot flakes, 7 spices, and a 21 vitamin mineral blend. Now that's interesting because when we curated this in 2021, we had focus groups that would focus on the flavor, and we settled on that. But our lab said this specific set of vitamins and serving size will be good because if somebody who is malnourished ate just one of these meal packs for the day, they would have their daily intake of vitamins.
Wow, it's an amazing event. If someone is watching and maybe this is something that they're interested in coming out to, or they know someone who like, hey, you know what, maybe could use a little bit of help, right? When and where can they find you?
They can find us here today, 2525 South Michigan Avenue at Inside Hospital, the East Side entrance. We're going to give away a hot chocolate with the meals, a bottle of water. The meal pack is coming with the side of a fish fillet, going to be buttered up and have salt and pepper, nicely cooked. We'll have some meals on the side for people who don't want fish, just plain with the rice and the beans. We'll have some hot sauce there. Come between 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. And we're going to give you a little care package too per household. We're trying to make sure that these meals are given with dignity. And for anybody truly in need, we're not here to ask 1,000 questions. We're here to say, are you hungry and how can we help fulfill that? And so honestly, it's incredible. If you want to volunteer, come on by. We love volunteers. We love our volunteers.
And the people in Chicago, it would not surprise me if just by seeing this, you're going to get a couple extra volunteers.
Absolutely.
So talk a little bit about that. For someone who is looking at this and going, this seems like something I'd like to help out with, what other events maybe should we be looking forward to, and how can maybe a potential volunteer reach out to you guys to get involved?
That's a great question. So online, they can go to irusa.org/volunteer. All of our volunteer opportunities are available, and they can get in on this and really make a difference on the ground, because you can just see the operations behind me. We're packing the meals live. We're going to cook them later on. I mean, we're going to have people. This is a historic pilot for Islamic Relief USA. So we were grateful for Insight and SFEB to jump on this pilot with us, because our usual intake is just doing meal packs, right? We're just packing them dry. But because we're cooking them, we're removing the burden of preparation for the folks who may not have access to kitchen supplies or appliances, or an access to a working stove. We've got, people, we're going to give out meals to people experiencing homelessness, right? So we're trying to remove that burden of preparation. So if you log on to irusa.org/volunteer, you'll see opportunities like this and more opportunities. We've got a plethora of them, and this is how we're trying to really set our footing in Chicago. If you've seen already our blue food truck driving around the city of Chicago, we ask no questions. Go on up, grab a meal from our food truck. We deliver 2,000 meals per week with this food truck. It's big and blue. You can't miss it.
I love how you guys have put the meals through a focus group and also through the lens of science, too. You're adding the right nutrients.
Yeah, it's really incredible. I mean, honestly, we wouldn't be able to do any of this without donors, volunteers. I mean, the intensity of a project of this scale, plus the curation of the meals 2 years ago. I mean, this has all been carefully cultivated so that we can address these real life issues that we're facing. I mean, think about like areas in Chicago that are below the 200% federal poverty line, right? We're trying to assist where where it's capable, because people are experiencing rent versus food conflict, right? Am I going to be able to make rent, but I haven't been able to go get groceries? I'm sure you guys know, you've been in a grocery store. The milk is high, some of the prices of the eggs. So we're trying to help out as best as we can. So the more we do projects like this on the ground with, partners, that trust us and are willing to work with us, the more we can get food security at a more safer level here in the city of Chicago.
Jasmine, you said something earlier that I thought was really profound that I wanted to expand on. The line you said, and forgive me if I butcher it, was that you serve these meals with dignity. And,
yes.
And I think that that's such an important part. Like, obviously, yes, the food itself is important, but the way that you hand the food off, the way that you treat people, treating people decently, treating people as human beings with dignity, as you say, I'd imagine just as important as the food itself.
That's a really incredible aspect, because so sometimes, you'll see people, they're kind of embarrassed, they don't want to get a meal, or they feel uncomfortable. So we want to make it a completely open and safe environment to say, listen, if you're struggling and you need a meal, just come grab a meal, grab a hot chocolate. We have a limited supply of 500 cups that we secured with a vendor that believes in our mission. So we're going to give you a hot chocolate. We're going to give you water. Do you want more than one water bottle? Anything that they would need. And Insight has a pamphlet for services for patient services, right? What if the person coming to get a meal also needs something, health-wise, healthcare access? So we've got pamphlets to help them as well, for more informational, on an informational basis. So I think that the word dignity is crucial here, and it's something that Islamic Relief USA sincerely believes in, because regardless of race, religion, ethnicity, doesn't matter. We're all humans working for the same cause, to feed people and treat people with dignity and care.
I love that. I love that.
Great
More
mission.
time as we're wrapping up, where can people find you today? And if they can't make it today, but maybe are very interested in sort of what you guys are doing, how can they find you in future dates?
So the future dates, always log on irusa.org/volunteer. We have so many of these opportunities. And again, anybody can come. Doesn't matter race, religion, ethnicity. Come on by, volunteer. Islamic Relief USA welcomes anyone and everyone. We love interfaith collaborations. And then today, 2525 South Michigan Avenue, we're up here on the second floor, packing these awesome meals with these awesome volunteers. And then we're going to cook them right on the same floor, right alongside in the cafeteria with the amazing chefs from Inside Hospital. Super exciting. And again, a pilot program that's sincerely inspirational and based on the fact that we want to feed people.
Love that. Jasmine Sadeh, we love what you're doing. Thank you for doing it, and continue all the great work. And I'm sure we'll be talking with you again soon.
Thank you so much for having us. We appreciate it.
Take care. All right, guys, we're going to run a break for just a couple minutes. We'll be right back. Were you struggling when the kids were younger to kind of find things to do on the? Always got to keep them busy. Always kind of, or were you pretty good at finding?
There was well, my wife was a teacher, so there was always some sort of activity going on. And you know, if worse got the worst, we just turn them loose with the animals, right?
As one does. Well, if you haven't gotten quite to the turn them loose to the animals point yet, if you're looking for something to do with the family, why not check out the Chicago International Puppet Theater Festival, which I feel like
I never did that.
You're right. Come on, you missed opportunity.
Right, absolutely.
We're going to talk with Blair Thomas, who's the founder and the artistic director. Blair, I'm so excited to talk with you. We were chatting during the break, and you gave us an offer to pick up at your computer and show us a little bit around the room. But before we do that, tell people a little bit about just what the festival is.
Sure. Well, this is a 10-day festival that takes place in Chicago the last 2 weeks of January annually, and we are North America's largest puppet festival. So it's a great, proud thing that we're here in Chicago, and we bring work from around the world as well as puppeteers from around the U.S. And then we have a big contingency of artists who are in Chicago making work. And it's over those 10 days we have over 100 events. Last year we had 22,000 people attend the festival, so a lot of people come out to see it. And most of the work is for grown-up audiences, but we do have work for young audiences as well. I could tell you about all that stuff going down. You know,
just looking at the one behind you,
right?
I mean, these things really truly are pieces of art. Like it's incredible, and it's a nice reminder to people of how beautiful these things can be.
And tell me a little bit about what is behind you. Is that a giant cardinal?
Yeah, gladly. So right behind me is a puppet that it's actually a lantern puppet. And it was made in a workshop that was led by an artist from Scotland who created these. They're kind of large scale, as you can see, puppets. That there's a backpack unit down below. You can see that the puppeteer would wear that backpack, and then the puppet itself would be above them, you know, and it's kind of a large scale thing. And then here's another one we have. This is a fox. Also, so these were made just before this festival. And used in our opening ceremonies by over just a 2-week period. And so it was a workshop that was led by Andrew Kim, and here's the design. So they did this research design, and then they sculpted the puppets, and like here's an example of the wing itself, like when they're like they make a design of the wing. So that's what it looks like structurally inside the form, and then they're made out of a very thin paper. There's a reed inside, but they're quite nice. Making puppets out of reeds, kind of structurally is something we've done a lot before. So I'm just kind of stepping out into our studio, and you can see behind me some larger puppets that were used in a production of Little Mermaid there, and here too. So these kinds of things, right? And then we have also other puppets that are from other shows, like here's from a Christmas Carol production that was done. And then there's others like this elephant and different kinds of fish from Little Mermaid.
You know, when we were talking about puppets, I'm picturing Pinocchio.
Well, I was picturing, like, Blair, I'm embarrassed. Whenever I heard that we were going to be doing this live shot, I really thought like hand puppets behind one of those, one of those little stands where, the old timey. I did not realize the level of artistry and the size and the intricacy that we were dealing. Do you find yourself with people who are surprised at what you actually mean when you guys say puppets?
For sure, people like you would think that a puppet is a hand puppet, or like its kukla franistry is large scale, and it's when you go and see the productions themselves, they're much more like visual theater, really. So this space that we're in right now has an exhibit going on with these very intricate little shadow puppet figures that I'm not sure if you can see this. So there's this like this figure here that's projecting a shadow, and can you see the animation on the wall behind a little bit? Is that coming through?
It
Yeah.
is.
Go
See how
tilt
there's
a little bit to the left.
So the shadows themselves are being cast on the wall. You can see them being cast on the wall behind me. So as they rotate. So I mean, there's a company in town called Manual Cinema, and they did a production of Macbeth, where the story was told from the perspective of a little girl. They called their production The Fourth Witch, and the little girl was like a character who was suffering under the tyranny of Macbeth, but then she was trying to find her life itself, and so they did the entire show with shadow puppets, and so that was a really beautiful piece that happened at the Biograph Theater. But the things that are going on, because we're closing this weekend, we close tomorrow, but we have some great stuff for families for sure. The Enormous Crocodile is taking place in the Fine Arts Building, so that's where I am right now. This is our studio in the Fine Arts Building, and there's the Studebaker Theater, and the Studebaker Theater is a large-scale theater, and the show, the Enormous Crocodile, is an adaptation of the kids' book by Roald Dahl. And it's a very funny story about a crocodile who wakes up one morning and all he wants to do is eat a little kid. And so he's like, I gotta find a little kid to eat. And all the other animals are like, oh my God, you can't eat a little kid. So they have to. So they're trying to protect this crocodile from doing this, and it's a big musical, great puppets, huge piece also coming from London, really spectacular show that's playing today, is playing tomorrow, and actually that show continues through February 21st here at the Fine Arts Building. So great fun for all the family. We also have a free neighborhood tour that is playing in different places in the city. And there's, so if you check our website, which is chicagopuppetfest.org, you can see all the things that are being offered. But this one production is playing today and tomorrow, and that performance is free in different locations.
Blair, you mentioned a little bit about the geometry inside the puppet, and basically you have kind of a living, breathing origami with structure underneath there. That's got to be incredibly detailed.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. It is very true. Like, just the skill of building puppets is really kind of advanced, as you can imagine. And you have to, if one thing is, first of all, it needs to look really good, but it also has to move. Like, this is the thing about a puppet. It's not a sculpture, it's a moving thing. And so when it moves, that's when it becomes magical and alive. And you just can't take your eyes, like when this bird starts to fly and it's lit up, you can't take your eyes off it. It's gorgeous. And all that designing needs to execute. Like, so if the puppet doesn't move well, then it's dead. It's a dead puppet, and you need it to be alive. And there's tons of alive puppets in the shows that we have going on this weekend.
Well, it's alive for a lot of people. I'm reading that you guys are on track to have a record attendance. Last year, 22,000 folks turned out. So, I mean, the fact that it's connecting with people on a large scale like this has got to be the most gratifying thing in the world. It's one thing to put out amazing art and put out amazing work, but then when it connects with people, that's got to just take it to a whole nother level.
It is really true. It's like it's like a visually spectacular, and we see visually spectacular things all the time on TV and our phones, right? But when you go to the theater and you're in the room where the visually spectacular thing is happening, and you see that it's handcrafted quality, but it's still magical. It's still fantastic and beautiful. It opens up your heart, and so audiences are really embracing the work. I mean, last weekend, it was a really miserable cold weekend, and our theaters, which had 400 or 500 seats in them, were packed. People loved it. It came out to see the shows. That was they were so grateful for this bright light in the middle of the dark winter.
Well, Blair, thank you so much this morning for sharing your passion and giving us a glimpse inside that world, which I had no idea.
You know, I'm kind of in awe. What I thought was it going to be this live shot ended up being something completely different. But Blair, this really was a treat. One more time, really quick, give people a shout out where they can find you guys today.
ChicagoPuppetFest.org. If you just write Puppet in Festival in Chicago, you'll find us.
It'll come up.
Excellent.
Excellent. Blair, we appreciate you, man. Thank you for the tour, and thank you for taking the time.
Oh, yeah. Thank you as well. Have a good day.
You too, buddy. All right, guys. We're going to go to one last commercial break, and then we've got one last segment that I think is going to be awesome. Here's a tease for you. Penguin Plunge Winter Festival. Sold.
Wow.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Okay. Shrinking.
So, Mark, earlier this morning on Good Day Chicago, we had Dan O'Connor, I think was his name, who is the guy who has jumped into Lake Michigan
every day
since in the middle of 2020?
Yeah, 2020 was the
so
year.
he's into the thousands of days that he's been doing it.
And when we say every day, we even mean last Saturday when it didn't get above zero.
Now, you do it in July.
Yeah,
okay,
anybody
cool,
can do that.
fun, but he's doing it on January 31st. But it sounds like there might be some other people doing it on January 31st. We're going to talk with you about the Penguin Plunge Winter Festival. We're going to talk with Lori Honza. Lori, this is, Mark and I were talking earlier. He and I have done the polar plunge for Special Olympics Illinois.
Yeah.
It takes a certain type of person to get into the water this time of year.
It sure does. Good morning. Yes, we are so excited. We are here in Ottawa, Illinois, during our Penguin Plunge Winter Festival. And all of these brave souls who are plunging today are raising money for children with a critical illness. We expect to reach about 600 children this year in granting life-changing wishes. And we are so excited that we have so many community supporters, including our amazing volunteers. We have donors, we have corporate sponsors. It is all to get life-changing wishes for children with critical illnesses.
I'm very fascinated. Where are you doing this at in Ottawa? That's my hometown.
We are at ChicagoLIVE Chicago.
Okay.
It is a beautiful airplane hangar, excuse me. There's a lake out here, and we have a program that goes from about 11 till 1 o'clock. And then at 1 o'clock, we are going to see our brave plungers jump into that icy cold lake. And if you're not as brave to go all the way down into the lake and submerge yourself, we do have toe dipping. So everybody can participate in this wonderful
that kind of feels like cheating.
Yeah, that doesn't seem fair.
Okay, if you're going to do it, you got to go.
You got to go in.
Says two guys who are not doing it. But you said 1 o'clock, so you're saying Mark Stroll has about 2 hours to get to Ottawa to jump in with you
We would love
guys.
to have you.
I've got it. There's a
Please come
chance.
on out, and all of the supporters across the state of Illinois. This is all for our amazing Wish kids and families.
Well, at the end of the day, like you said, that is what it's for, and what an amazing cause it is. For someone who says, listen, God bless you, it ain't going to be me getting in that water, but they still want to help out because they believe in the cause. There are other ways. I mean, you can really financially support a lot of people that are jumping in that water. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely. We are actually looking for wish makers across the state of Illinois. A wish maker is anyone who wants to take action on behalf of our wish kids. One of the best places to start is our website. If you go to www.wish.org/Illinois, you can learn how to volunteer. You can donate today. You can get involved in a fundraiser, and you can do anything that you want to do. We take everybody's time, talent, or treasure, however they want to participate in our mission. We would love to have you.
It's really it's such an amazing cause, and the people that are doing it. Is it one dip per person? Because I know sometimes they're doing multiple dips into the water. Is it run into the water, get down, and then you're out?
Really quickly.
Okay,
some people sign up as individuals. There are also some amazing teams. We have an amazing Wish family here today who brought about 20 people to support her and her family. So anybody is welcome to do this. Like I said, toe dipping, submerge yourself in the water. Whatever level of bravery you want to bring it today. But we think about our Wish kids, and every day they are brave, fighting their critical illness. So we want to be here every step of the way to support them.
You mentioned that you were at Skydive Chicago. Now, maybe it's too late this year. I would love to see someone jump out of a plane, parachute down into the pond, do the submersion, fireworks in the background. We can orchestrate this for you.
So what Mark is saying is have a plane ready to go. He's on his way. We're wrapping the show in about 7 minutes, and he'll be heading to Ottawa.
We would love to orchestrate something like that. That would be amazing.
Lori, here's the real question. Are you getting in the water today?
Well, I will do a toe dip, but only because I'm an active supporter and volunteer. I really want to be here to support all of our amazing Wish families who are here. But next year, mark my word, I will take the plunge.
Oh, she's doing it.
Yeah.
Have you done it before?
I have not, actually. This event has been around for 16 years. And so we've had a number of different plungers across the years. This has really been built into an amazing event. We are expected to raise over $125,000 just with this event alone. And we could absolutely use every person in the community's support to help our Wish kids.
Well, take it from two guys who have done it. It feels really warm when you get in there.
Yeah.
It's like bath water.
It's a big trick we've been pulling on everyone for years, making you think it's cold. It's actually great.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's a dream.
It's like the Bahamas, kind of. Hey, you've got to say hi to my friend Jim Riley, who in past years has been the #1 fundraiser at your event there. So I'm sure he's there this year as well.
That's fantastic.
We'll definitely reach out to him. Absolutely.
If they can't make it out today, but I mean, I'd imagine you guys have a lot of events going through. What are some of the other events that are happening, 365 days a year?
Well, this year is our 40th birthday. So we have been granting wishes for over 40 years, 19,000 wishes across the state of Illinois. And so we are celebrating. We have an event coming up in April. That is our World Wish Month. We also have our biggest fundraising gala of the year in May, our Wish Ball. And we have all kinds of community events going on over the summer and also into the fall. Walk for Wishes is a wonderful family event that you can come out to and walk for about a mile. That happens in October. So we are constantly inviting the community to come out, celebrate with us, but also really recognizing that it's not just about the last 40 years, it's the next 40 years. And how are we able to fuel all of those life-changing wishes for the children across the state of Illinois? We need everybody's help to do that.
It's an incredible event. A lot of brave people. Like I said, Mark and I have put in our time, so we're going to let all those amazing brave people out there today do it. One more time, give us some information on where people can find you if they want to try to come out today. Can you still sign up and come do it today?
We'll take you. Registration is actually free. What we do ask for, though, if you'd like to participate, we would love a $100 donation. But if not, come on out and celebrate us. Any way that you want to get involved. Otherwise, if you go to wish.org/Illinois, you can find out all kinds of information on our events, how to be a donor, how to be a fundraiser, how to be a volunteer, and any other way that you would like to get involved in our organization.
Very cool.
What a cause. Lori, you are a rock star. Please give our love to everyone out there. We're not going to give you a hard time because you're just doing the toe dip, but we are going to hold you to it next year when we talk next year, because you did say you were going to plunge. So we're going to catch up with you in 12 months and see what's going on.
I would love that. Perfect. And again, you guys are invited out. I want to see the fireworks next year, and let's see that skydive.
We'll get the plane ready to go.
I'm
get the
on
plane
board.
ready.
I'm 100%.
Yeah.
It's very easy to get to. Just go down Interstate 80, get off the Ottawa exit, ask for Skydive Chicago. You can get right to it.
Ask her, Mark. Take a left at the Mark Strell statue, and you can't miss it.
It'll be
Laura,
a scarecrow.
we appreciate you. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, guys.
You too.
Take
you
care.
too. All right, guys. Just about a minute left in the show. Really quick. It's going to be chilly when they dip into that water.
We're talking about temperatures in the 20s. Wind chills this morning have been below zero. We've got a little bit of lake effect snow today, and I'll give you an update on the telly coming up tonight.
Yeah, tonight. I feel this is the first. The first time I've ever got to sit at the Weather Center before.
It's very impressive, isn't it?
The power.
Yeah.
I feel like I can just point at things. Can we take? I don't know. Do we have the ability to punch up that shot again? This is just such a cool shot. I know everyone's making fun of my fascination, but like you put that in a movie, that's an Oscar nomination for cinematography.
Right there, huh? Yeah.
That's a beautiful shot.
That's beautiful. Mm-hmm.
All right, this was our first shot at this streaming hour. Let us know what you think.
Next time we should do more shots.
Yeah. We'll see you tomorrow.
Hey everyone, welcome into another edition of First and North. I am Tina Wynn, and joining me this week on the show, the voice of the Lions, Dan Miller, from Fox Milwaukee, Tim Van Voren, and from Fox Minneapolis, Ahmad Hicks. Fellas, Super Bowl 60 is set in Santa Clara. The top seed in the NFC, the Seattle Seahawks, will take on Drake May and the Patriots. It's a rematch from 11 years ago. Super Bowl 59, where Malcolm Butler picked off Russell Wilson at the 1-yard line. Before I get to that, though, guys, the joke has always been the NFL, this league, is somehow, some way scripted. A little hard to argue against that since the league shared this on September 4th. As you see here, if we zoom in all the way up front, what do you see? Guys, we see Sam Darnold and Drake May. Coincidence? I mean, I think not. Tim, I'll start with you. What was your initial reaction when you saw this matchup?
Well, first of all, Super Bowl 60 was Saturday night, or Sunday night, I guess I'd say, in Seattle. That was the game that mattered. So this one, I guess the script is in place there if you believe in that stuff, Tina. I'm not big on that scripting stuff. I think you play the games, but hey, we're all talking about it, so there's something.
Hey, the Seahawks entered week 1 of the season with 60-1 odds to win the Super Bowl. Longer odds than every NFC West team, including the Cardinals. The Patriots had 80-1 odds. We'll see if Seattle can avenge their Super Bowl 49 loss there. Ahmad, the last Vikings QB and offensive coordinator, Sam Darnold and Clint Kubiak are headed to the Super Bowl. How are Vikings fans taking this, seeing their former QB, Sam Darnold, getting ready to play in the Super Bowl here?
Oh, the narratives are already being created, Tina. Everyone around town's like, what if we would have just kept Sam Darnold? If we would have kept Sam Darnold, we would be right there. It's like, yeah, maybe, sort of, but who knows what that offensive line would have been like. The running game, the defense, not as good as Seattle, but they are pretty good. But, you know, everyone in Minnesota loves to harp on something when the season ends and blames it on another reason. So this is just another, you know, chapter to the saga that they have here in Minnesota for sports and the Minnesota Vikings, that is.
Let's not forget, though, this has no doubt been a very long and windy road here for Sam Darnold, who was in the same draft class back in 2018 as who? Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Josh Rosen, Mason Rudolph. Darnold was taken 3rd overall there to what team? The Jets. And since then, he's played for the Panthers, the 49ers, and, of course, the Vikings last year. Now with the Seahawks on, do you believe it was a mistake here to let him go?
I mean, that's the big storyline for us here in Minnesota right now. Everyone can make a case why it was a mistake to let him go, and everyone else can make another, you know, case for why they should have let him go, because then they would have just kind of hamstrung their team and their roster and not really been able to upgrade at any other position. So, I mean, we can go back and forth on this situation, but I think the moral of the story is Sam Darnold revived his career here, and he went out and just continued where he picked up where he left off last year. Had 2 rough games against 2 opponents, should I say, the Lions and the Rams, and he kind of avenged, you know, those tough games against the Rams this season. So if he goes out there and wins the Super Bowl, everyone in Minnesota will tell you they should have kept Sam Darnold. If he goes out there and loses and doesn't have a spectacular performance, they'll say, okay, maybe that's why we didn't re-sign him. So you can look at it both ways here.
Well, speaking of another quarterback who is performing well this season, Dan, on the other side of the coin, the Rams lost, and questions are starting to rise if Matthew Stafford should retire. He's played at an MVP level all season long. Do you think he has another season left in him?
I think he does. I think should comes down to whether or not Matthew Stafford wants to continue to play, and that's going to bring into consideration the direction of the Rams, what they plan on doing, how they plan on facilitating that roster going forward. But Matthew showed that he can surely play. And you could see that he had a good game against Seattle. They just didn't find a way to get it done, and their defense really let them down in that game. And a special teams mistake obviously set the Seahawks up as well. So, look, I think Matthew, knowing him from his years here, will probably take a little bit of time to think about it. I don't know if he's got his mind made up yet, but I'm not going to be surprised either way. He has played through a lot of injuries. He has put his body through a lot of trauma and certainly feels it and will feel it going forward for the rest of his life. So the question is that it for Matthew Stafford on the field, and is he ready to go jump into a cushy TV job somewhere? Or does he feel like there is still a chance that this team can come back, finish the job that they started this year, win another Super Bowl, and get that done? So I think all those things go into his thinking and what he does. Like I said, guys, I'm 50-50 on what he does going forward.
Well, time will tell if Matthew Stafford will be returning for next season. Guys, let's dive into award season now. The NFL released the finalists for the 2025 season. Let's start with AP Coach of the Year, Ben Johnson, Liam Cohen, Mike McDonald, Kyle Shanahan, and Mike Vrabel. They narrowed it down to 5, but the hard part now is narrowing it down to 1. You can certainly make a case for all of these guys.